checking your rear brake pads on your Tenere and also on other bikes as well. It's a relatively similar process, give or take a few minor differences between different bikes, but it's a straightforward process for most bikes that are out there. It's a 60-second to 2-minute job to pull the discs out, the brake pads out, and check them and pop them back in or change them if you need to. The reason that I needed to do this recently is I took my Tenere for an MOT and it failed. The brake pads were down to 1 mil or less, and I'd forgotten to check the brake pads before I took it for the MOT, having done 2 big long mileage trips to Europe this year on the Tenere. So what I want to do is to be able to show you how to check your brake pads, how to take them out and put new ones in. It's a 60-second to 2-minute job. I'll show you the tools that you need to do it and then how to do it. So let's get into it. What tools are you going to need? You're going to need a long nose pliers. You're going to need a hammer, something long and pointy. I've got a hex head screwdriver here, just long and pointy. And that is to be able to knock the pin out that holds the brake pads in place. And I'll show you how we use that in a moment. You're going to need some monkey grips or something like this. And that is just so that you can squeeze the bar that holds the brake pads back in. It's quite hard to seat sometimes, so using these makes the job a lot easier. You're going to need a rag or a bit of cloth and a little bit of grease. And depending on the condition of the bar that we take out, you might need a little bit of sandpaper just to sandpaper it down and put some fresh grease on it so it goes in, but not too much that it drips off the bar. You just need a very slight covering. So with that in mind, let's get started. Right, so the first thing we need to do is to take this lock-in pin out here with the long nose pliers. Right, that's easy enough to do. Don't lose that locking pin, that's got to go back in. So as you can see here, just here, look, this bar needs to come out. So there's a hole on this side, and this is why you need something long and pointy, so that you can just put it in the hole at the one end on the outside of the disc, and just tap through with the hammer until it pops out the other end. So gently just tap. There we go, so that's popped out the other side. So we just pull that all the way through, and that's the bar that holds the discs in place. The brake pad and the pad here, they should be able to fall out now. They might need a little bit of encouragement, but pushing down, so that one's quite loose. So you just push down and pull out. And there we go, that's the disc there. That's the hole at the rear that the bar goes through and secures it in place. So that's one disc out. These are obviously new discs. I replaced them, so that's a new disc. And the same, the other side should be straightforward, that they pull out. There we go. That is how easy it is to take your brake pads out and check to see the wear of them, okay? And to put the brake pads back in, it's just an exact reverse of what you've just done. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's just put the inside one back in first. So you just slide it in, and at this point take hold of the loop at the back, hold that in a downwards position, I guess, and then just push the front end of it forward, and then lift. And that should just stay in place. Do the same with the outside pad. Make sure it's facing the right way. So point it down to start with, and then push up like that. And that is both brake pads now back in position. Now that we've got this bar out, it goes in that way. I don't know if you can see on here, but there is a hole in the bar, and that is where your locking pin will go through to lock the bar in place once it's in position. So you need to make sure that the bar is pushed through enough so that the locking pin fits into that hole that's there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hole on the bar there. So clean off the bar, put a fresh layer of grease on it, not too much, and then we can slide the bar back in place. Don't worry about the position of the hole in the bar at this stage. The most important thing is getting it all the way back in. So this is where your monkey grips come in handy. So all we're going to do now is put one end of the monkey grip on one side, the other end on the other end of the caliper, and then just squeeze. Right, that's pushed in now. Locate the hole in the bar by using your long nose pliers and just twisting it so you eventually locate the hole. Right, I can see the hole now. It's still not through far enough. So take your long pointy tool and your hammer, come in from the other side, now then, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but the locking pin hole is just there now, so it's come all the way through. So with that bar back in now, we're going to put the locking pin back in place, and it's the shoulder of the locking pin that faces inwards. So you can see the hole. That locking pin is not all the way through yet. Right, that's it. That's the locking pin in place. The only thing to do now is to pump the front of the brake, pump the rear brake with the brake lever, just to make sure that the pads re-engage with the disc, and that is how to change your brake pads. So there you go, that's how do you remove your brake pads and be able to check them and potentially change them from the rear caliper on your Tenere. As I said, most bikes have a similar format with the rear brake caliper, very straightforward, and it's a couple of minutes to do maximum if you've got the right tools. I'm hoping that's given you the confidence to be able to do it yourself. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, message me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But I hope you found that helpful. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you again very soon.